Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat on the show today, well, if you've watched the news, you've probably seen that the whole U.S. government, or at least at the taping of this program, U.S. government's been in a little bit of troubles. They can't come up with an actual budget to keep a lot of people employed, meaning a lot of government workers have been laid off or on furlough over the past several days. Now, this being said, one manufacturer who is on the forefront of this situation is the Korean manufacturer Hyundai. They've actually come out and said that if you come out and you're a government employee, you can buy a brand new Hyundai and you won't have to make a single payment for the first 90 days. Now, they did this back in the day when the whole economic downturn first started in and said that if you bought a brand new Hyundai, and any time within that first year of ownership, if the economic downturn actually caused you to lose your job or it had a situation where you needed to get rid of the vehicle, you could return it Hyundai and get a full whatever and not even a single ding on your credit rating, which is pretty impressive. One thing Hyundai's been able to do is keep their name out there with a ton of free publicity because everybody in the media has been talking about this for the past several days. Pretty interesting and pretty well done to the Hyundai folks. Next up on the list, this is the Aston Martin Cygnet. And I can't be more happy than announce that this car is officially done in production. Aston Martin will no longer build this vehicle. Now, this in its Toyota IQ or Scion IQ form is a perfectly fine automobile. But as an Aston Martin, gosh darn no. I'm happy to say that it will no longer be built by Aston. These things sold for $50,000 a piece. They were not cheap. Now, I know Aston was trying to do this, try to bring their whole fuel economy numbers for the entire brand down, not to mention their CO2 numbers down. So I know why they did it, but you will never, ever hear me say this again. But Aston Martin has lost a line. I can't be more happy about this. Next up on the list, Volkswagen. Actually been talking a little bit about tuning up their present-day turbo version, and then all of a sudden, splattered all over the interweb, shows this automobile that's been testing at the Nordschleife loop, which could possibly be a Beetle R. Remember when we talked about the Golf R several shows ago? Apparently, Beetle's going to get the same version, the same treatment. It's going to have a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, making 300 brake horsepower, and it's going to be stuck through a automatic and hopefully manual transmission and put down to all 4 wheels. Talking 0 to 60 numbers, somewhere around 5.5 seconds, but nothing official from Volkswagen yet. But if they're already testing it, it should be in the pipeline. We may be hearing more about this in the future. Next up on the list, the Swedish manufacturer Koenigsegg is in the news, as Christian von Koenigsegg was talking about this automobile that's coming down soon. It is the 1:1. Now, this particular, the 1-in-1, is basically to say that this vehicle will only weigh 1,400 kilograms, but will make 1,400 brake horsepower, 1-to-1, obviously, being a horsepower to weight. Now, obviously, that doesn't really transfer to pounds because the car is over 3,000 pounds. This being said, a Chinese supercar dealership's actually in the front of helping this vehicle get built, obviously through a little bit of funding, and will be sold to that particular dealership, and that dealership will get to sell it down the line. But Christian von Koenigsegg came out to a magazine and said that this car is going to be a record breaker, including maybe the fastest production automobile as of yet. So, he's talking about 0 to 124 miles an hour is going to be a record. 0 to 186 miles an hour is going to be a record. And 0 to 248.5 miles an hour is going to be done in 20 seconds. How fast did the Bugatti Veyron do in that kind of speed, do you ask? The Veyron takes 45 seconds. Over double. And Christian von Koenigsegg said that this car will go all the way up to 450 kilometers an hour or 279.6 miles an hour. This is all done because of that fantastic 1,400 brake horsepower twin turbocharged V8 that's 5 liters in displacement that's been heavily modified. Now, obviously, this deal isn't done yet. This vehicle hasn't been built. And these numbers aren't actually true yet. But if it is, it's going to be interesting. If they beat the Bugatti Veyron by 11 miles an hour, pretty impressive. Ball's back in your court soon, possibly Bugatti, but interesting nonetheless. Next up on the list, and staying with Koenigsegg, I have heard many manufacturers doing a certified pre-owned program, but Koenigsegg's only built 100 automobiles. But guess what? They're going to do a certified pre-owned program. Now, if you own one and you're wanting to get in on this certified program, what you need to do is, well, obviously you had to buy it from Koenigsegg or from a Koenigsegg representative. And you have to take it back to Sweden to get it touched on, where the vehicle will get a full inspection from top to bottom, front to back, will be updated and refurbished throughout this automobile. And if it jumps through all those hoops, it becomes officially certified, and you will get 2 years, or at least the new owner will get 2 years of bumper-to-bumper warranty, not to mention free service. Not a bad little program when it comes to this deal, so we'll keep you in tune when it comes this down the pike, especially with brand new Koenigsegg's costing $1.5 million to $2 million. If you're going to get a used one, might not be a bad idea to go this direction. Next up on the list, the folks at Callaway said it's official that the Aero Wagon will go into production. Now, this is obviously a kit from the tuner company Callaway, and they've actually built a lot of Corvette stuff in the past. But if you own a brand new C7 and you like this back treatment with it makes it look a little bit wagon-esque, it will cost you a little bit, but it can be done. $15,000 is what it's going to cost, and another $1,500 to have it color-coded to match the automobile. Now, they're also talking about a upgrade in horsepower, which will cost you another $25,000. But they claim that this new Aero Wagon's been set up and has been tested at over 200 miles an hour. So it's a pretty sturdy piece of kit, entirely carbon fiber, so it's built very well to boot. So if you want to take your C7 and make a wagon out of it, head on over to the folks at Callaway. And last up on the list, well, this is a picture of my automobile. Has it come out in the news, and actually today, the taping of this program, actually being, well, National What'd You Name Your Car Day, or Name Your Automobile Day. And I'm one of those people. An actual insurance study actually came out today and said that 25% of all Americans name their automobiles. My demographic really wasn't there, because normally the people that name them are female and between 18 and 35. Neither of those. But nonetheless, over 10 years ago, I've had this car for nearly 14 years, but over 10 years ago, this car got a name. As we were talking about it one holiday, the thing is red and it's looking like a tomato, and there happened to be a Pro Mod drag race car that was called the Killer Red Tomato, or the Killer Red Mater, which later my car just became Mater. That's what it's been known as, at least for the past 10 years. Now, that being said, I know that there's a cartoon character that was actually called Mater, but mine has been called that quite a bit longer. Not to mention, I actually ripped it off from another drag racer, i.e. Scotty Cannon's Killer Red Mater. But it was a pretty interesting deal, and I'd like to know if you want to put down into the comments on this, or I've actually posted it on the Facebook page about if you've ever named your automobile. So if you want to, head on over there and let us know what it is. It's a pretty interesting deal as far as I'm concerned. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this week's Motor Cars Enthusiasts. If you want to jump on over to the Facebook page, the link's down in the show notes. Also, if you want to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time. Get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. I thank you for watching. We'll see you again real soon.